A capacity crowd has sold out the MTA arena as we are prepared to watch 32 of MTA's baddest monster trucks go head-to-head for the Revenge Championship right here tonight. Hi everyone, I'm Steve Jones. I'll be your host this evening, and we are set to watch all the teams and all the independent drivers throw it down right here in the dirt. Who will be the one on top here tonight to take home the Revenge title? Well, my friends, we are about to find out in just a few short minutes as we continue to wrap up the pit party. The fans are packing the stands, and everybody is pumped up for this show right here tonight. And folks, we're getting ready to kick off round one action right here at Revenge. I apologize for having to put the show off a day, but we're back in action. Revenge kicks off now. Mike Lanford in the Bustin' Loose Chevrolet out of Conroe, Texas, now set to take on Matthew Riley at a Team Dog Pound in the Monster Mutt Husky. Staged over there in the far lane, he's going to run up against one of the baddest bow ties on the MTA circuit. Who moves on to round two action? We kick off Revenge now. Down the stretch they go. Looks like Bustin' Loose is holding the lead on him, and Mike Lanford and Bustin' Loose pick up the win over the Monster Mutt Husky. We'll see the bad bow tie back in action here in round two. Now next up, we've got Tim Cantwell out of Outlaw Motorsports Race Team in the Bounty Hunter. He looked so good last time out here when we saw him. He took home the Holiday Havoc Championship. He's trying to go 2 for 2 right here at the Revenge show. Set to take on Joseph Nelson in Jurassic Attack. Who moves on to round two? Here's the green light now. They seem pretty even down the stretch. Up and over no man's land and a wheel stand, and Jurassic Attack turns it over. Oh my word, what a great piece of action out of both drivers. Jurassic Attack rocked up and rolled over. Timothy Cantwell stuck it on the rear tailgate back there. Watch as they come up and over no man's land. You see him hit the first jump. Jurassic Attack starts to get a little sideways. Look at the far lane. On the tailgate is Bounty Hunter, and Jurassic Attack turned it over going across the finish line. Nonetheless, picks up the win over the Bounty Hunter. Jurassic Attack we will see back in round two. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the MTA track crew and officials down there to flip Jurassic Attack right side up. And as you see, it's definitely got some damage going on. The crew has got plenty of time to hurry up and get that truck hopefully back to 100%. And we'll see Jurassic Attack right here, back to the line in round two action. A tough break for Timothy Cantwell. I know he was looking to do good out here. Nonetheless, on the trailer. And next up in round one action, Chad Legit 2 Legit will soon to be the new owner of Bad Weather Racing. He brings the brand new Tropical Thunder to the line. That truck is making its debut on the circuit right here tonight. He is set to take on Peanut in the Maximum Destruction Machine in the near lane. Here's the green light now. Looks like Peanut may have a lead on him. Up and over no man's land here. And Chad Legit got the win over Max D as they came across the finish line. Peanut was hanging right there with him. Nonetheless, the brand new Tropical Thunder picking up its first victory. Take a look at the photo finish. It wasn't by much, but Chad Legit getting the job done. Now next up here at Revenge in round one, JAYLEN Buford brings the USA 1 Chevrolet out of Minnesota to the line. Now set to take on Austin Arabia, a representative out of the Bad Weather Race Team in Stinger Unleashed. He looked pretty solid all season long on Thursday Night Thunder. Definitely pulled out the save of the year last month. Here we go now. There's the green light. Looks like USA 1 has a strong lead on Stinger. Up and over the cars. And JAYLEN Buford making quick work of Stinger Unleashed. We'll see USA 1 in the Chevrolet camp back in round two. Next up, it's your boy Shaggy. Gravedigger legend Matt Cheever behind the wheel. Now set to take on the man that made it all the way to the finals at the Holiday Havoc show, Ray Acuna out of Elkton, Virginia, in the Bad News Travels Fast Chevrolet staged over in the far lane. Which one of these drivers go on to round two at Revenge? We find out now. There's the green light. Both trucks are hard on the line, hanging even. Looks like the legend pulling a lead in a huge wheel stand by Bad News. Nonetheless, it costed them the win. That far lane, these guys are getting too much air, and these wheel stands are killing their runs. The legend moves on. And ladies and gentlemen, up next, Northern Nightmare, driven by CORY Marvin. He's representing No Fear Racing. That brand new Northern Nightmare looked strong there at Holiday Havoc last month. He is set to take on his teammate, and we hate when teammates come together. It's just the way the cards fell. John CADIEUX and Bulldozer. Here's their green light. Looks like Bulldozer has a slight lead on Northern Nightmare. And oh, what a race it was. Northern Nightmare rolls it over there at the shutdown area. John CADIEUX and Bulldozer was hanging right there with him. As we take a look at the photo finish, your winner is going to be Bulldozer. Now next up here in round one action at Revenge, downtown Mitch Brown, bringing the Bigfoot Ford back to the line out of the Outlaw Motorsports Race Team. He is set to take on Chris BILUK, the owner of the Bad Weather Race Camp in BKT. Which one of these drivers go on to round 2? More or less, which team goes to round 2? Here's the green light now. Both of them hard off the line, hanging even down the straight, up and over the cars here. And Chris BILUK into the wall with BKT. However, gets the win over Bigfoot. We'll see BKT back in round 2. Now, folks, next up here in round 1, another Outlaw Motorsports representative. That is Justin Lamb and Dragon Ice. And he's looking to do good for Outlaw Motorsports, staged over in the far lane. He's now set to take on Wyatt Anderson out of Wadesboro, North Carolina, and Carolina Crusher, who goes on to round 2 action. Staged. Here's the green light now. Both trucks hard off the line. Maybe a slight lead to Crusher. Bobbles up. Dragon Ice coming back. And Carolina Crusher rolls it over, coming out of no man's land. Your winner, Justin Lamb and Dragon Ice, knocking off Carolina Crusher here in round 1. And we are now trackside with the MTA track crew and officials. Carolina Crusher hanging right there with Justin Lamb and Dragon Ice. Got a little fumbled up there in no man's land. Turned the truck over right into the van stack. There you see the right front tire popping off the truck. Carolina Crusher and the team have got some work to do. We hope to see them back in 100% at the next MTA event. Now, ladies and gentlemen, up next here in round 1 action, we have got Tim Hammer out of the Diggers Diecast Race Team, Mohawk Warrior, now set to take on the Wild Man, Ryan Johnson, and Bulldozer. The Bulldozer has always been a bad, fast, top-notch competitor. What's he got for Mohawk Warrior? Right here tonight, we're about to find out. Here's the green light now, both of them strong off the line. Slight lead to Mohawk Warrior, gets on 2 wheels, rolls over, and Ryan Johnson has picked up the win. And ladies and gentlemen, I'd have to say, if Tim Hammer didn't roll the truck over, he would have put Bulldozer on the trailer. Now up next, we've got FEFE CAYRES in the Snake Bite Machine, now set to take on 3-time Thursday Night Thunder champion. That's Greg Durbin in the Saigon Shaker, staged over there in the far lane. FEFE normally drives the Avenger Chevrolet out here, changing it up a little bit right here tonight in the green Snake Bite Machine. Both trucks staged now. Here's the green light on round 1 of Revenge. Snakebite holding the lead on Saigon Shaker, but Saigon coming back on him, and Greg Durbin and Saigon Shaker will upset the big bad Ford out of Pacific, Missouri in Snakebite. Saigon moves on to round 2. And next up, we have got Blake Mahoney out of Hagerstown, Maryland in Overkill Evolution, now set to take on the man with the plan, the past 2 wins on the Thursday Night Thunder circuit. That is Kieran Adams and Crash Test Dummy. And ladies and gentlemen, Kieran Adams has won his last 8 races, looking to make it 9 as we kick off Revenge. Stage, there's the green light. Overkill Evolution got him up the line. Kieran Adams coming back on him, and what a close race it was across the finish line. Blake Mahoney and Overkill hanging right there with Crash Test Dummy coming across the finish line. As we take a look at the photo finish, your winner, Kieran Adams and Crash Test Dummy. He's gone 9 racing wins in a row. And next up, RAILYN Mullins looks strong out there on Thunder these past couple of months, has been rocking the house in Medusa, now set to take on Joey Andrews out of the K&J Motorsports Race Team in that brand new Black Stallion. And last time we saw him was at Holiday Havoc. He's looking to turn it up here tonight. Here's the green light now. Both of them are even down the straight stretch, up and over no man's land, and another close race. I'm not even sure who got the win. Medusa, Black Stallion, both of them letting it all hang out. Who got the win? We're about to find out as we take a look at the MTA replay. You see him coming off the line pretty even as they start coming down to the very first jump. Watch them even out here as soon as they come off the runway. Up and over no man's land, slight lead to Black Stallion. There's the wheel stand, and your winner is going to be Medusa, RAILYN Mullins, knocking off Black Stallion early here in round 1 action. What an incredibly close race it was. Nonetheless, Medusa getting the win. Now next up in round 1, Jerry WOMACK Jr. in Buckshot out of Culpeper, Virginia. The Chevrolet has always been a force to be reckoned with on the MTA circuit. Now set to take on Jamie HURD in the Iron Outlaw out of Tonganoxie, Kansas. This one is a classic matchup. Ford versus Chevrolet here in round 1. As we go green now down the straight stretch, Buckshot starting to pull on Iron Outlaw up and over the cars, making easy work of the Iron Outlaw Ford. Jerry WOMACK Jr. and Buckshot we'll see back in round 2 action. Now, folks, next up, we've got Preston HURD out of Frackville, Pennsylvania in the Sudden Impact Ford, now set to take on longtime NTA veteran, that is James Vaillancourt in the Liquidator Ford. 2 Ford ovals going to go head-to-head here in round 1. Who moves on to round 2? We're about to find out, ladies and gentlemen. Sudden Impact takes on Liquidator. Stage, here's the green light now at Revenge down the straight stretch. Liquidator holding the lead on it, but Sudden Impact coming back. And Preston HURD out of Frackville, Pennsylvania, puts Sudden Impact into round 2. Unfortunately, Vaillancourt is on the trailer. And ladies and gentlemen, next up, we have got Cole HARRAWOOD in the Black Pearl Chevrolet. He is now set to take on 10-time Thursday Night Thunder champion Rich Wagner's, looking for his first big win since the Independent Showdown 2020. Rich Wagner in the Wild Hair Chevrolet, always a top-notch competitor, representing No Fear Racing here as we go green down the straight stretch. Battle of the bow tie in round 1, and Rich Wagner with a wheel stand coming across the finish line. But however, I do think he got the win. Black Pearl hit the jersey wall there. Your winner, as we look at the photo finish, is Rich Wagner in the Wild Hair Chevrolet. And ladies and gentlemen, now as we close out round 1 action, Mike CANZONERI bringing the Vet King Corvette to the line. He is now set to take on 6-time Thursday Night Thunder champion, Johnson Motorsports Race Team representative, the Snowman Jeffrey Skipper in the U.S. Air Force Afterburner. Who moves on to round 2 action? Vet King, Afterburner. It's showtime here at Revenge in the closing of round 1 action. Even down the straight stretch, up and over the cars. Vet King rolls it over. Mike CANZONERI goes end over end across the finish line. And Jeffrey Skipper was hanging door handle to door handle. We're going back and taking a look at the MTA replay. You see him now coming down the straight stretch. Both of them are fairly even. Watch as they hit the first set of jumps. Up and over no man's land, and a bad bounce for Vet King. And you see your winner is Jeffrey Skipper and U.S. Air Force Afterburner. What a ride there for CANZONERI and Vet King, closing out round 1 action. What an incredible race it was. And ladies and gentlemen, we have got round 2 action coming up right now. And kicking things off is Mike LANFORD and Bustin' Loose, now set to take on Joseph Nelson in the Jurassic Attack, who had a hard rollover there in round 1. They're hoping the truck is back and at 100%. The crew is out there thrashing on it, but you know old Mike LANFORD ain't cutting him no slack in the Bustin' Loose Chevrolet. Both trucks staged to kick off round 2 at Revenge. Down the straight stretch they go. Slight lead to Bustin' Loose in the near lane. Gets the win over Jurassic Attack there in the far lane. Joseph Nelson letting it all hang out. However, Bustin' Loose gets the win here to kick off round 2. Next up here in round 2 action, Chad Legit, 2 Legit out of the Bad Weather Race Camp in the brand new Tropical Thunder, now set to take on Outlaw Motorsports representative JAYLEN Buford in the USA 1 Chevrolet. Who moves on to round 3 action at Revenge? USA 1 takes on Tropical Thunder. Here's the green light now, both of them hard on the line. Slight lead to USA 1. Tropical Thunder trying to come back and doesn't have enough. Gets hung up on the bus stack there in the center of the track. USA 1 grabs the win over Tropical Thunder. We'll see JAYLEN Buford back as you look at the photo finish right here. It wasn't by much, maybe half a truck. USA 1 gets the win. Next up, John CADIEUX in the Bulldozer machine out of No Fear Racing, now set to take on none other than your boy Shaggy and Grave Digger the Legend out of Poplar Branch, North Carolina. Staged over here in the near lane. He is set and ready to go. Looks strong in round 1. Who goes on to round 3? Here's the green light. Both of them hard off the line now. They're even down the stretch, up and over no man's land. And the wheel stand may have just cost John CADIEUX and Bulldozer at far lane tonight has been throwing these trucks off. We're going back to take a look at the photo finish. Your winner will be Matt Cheever and Grave Digger the Legend over Bulldozer here in round 2 action. Now next up we have got Chris BILUK in BKT making his final ride with the Bad Weather Race Team, the team that he started and created. He's moving on to bigger and better things. He is set to take on Outlaw Motorsports representative Justin Lamb and Dragon Ice. Back to Chris BILUK starting his own team again. It's going to be the Michigander Motorsports team. He's looking to do good things, and BKT has a lead on Dragon, and easy work for BKT knocking off Dragon Ice here in round 2 action. We'll see BKT back in round 3. Next up, Greg Durbin, the 3-time Thunder champion, now set to take on Ryan Johnson, the Wild Man in Bulldozer. didn't look so hot this past season on Thunder. Hopefully they've made the right changes to that truck here tonight to take out the Saigon Shaker. Both trucks staged at the line. Who goes on to round 3 action? We're about to find out. Here's the green light now down the stretch. Bulldozer starting to pull on Saigon. And Saigon's in trouble, turns it over. Ryan Johnson skidded the truck sideways going across the finish line. Saigon turns it over. However, Bulldozer gets the win. Next up here in round 2, we've got RAILYN, Mullins, and Medusa back to the line, set to take on the current Thursday Night Thunder champion. That's Kieran Adams out of the K&J Motorsports Race Team and Crash Test Dummy. Who goes on to round 3? We are about to find out. Will it be Medusa or Crash Test Dummy? As we go green, they're even off the line, slightly to Medusa. Crash Test Dummy trying to come back and gets hung up on that last set of cars there just before the finish line. Doesn't make it all the way across the line there. A tough break for Kieran Adams. Medusa moves on. And next up out of Culpeper, Virginia, we've got Jerry Womack Jr. in the Buckshot Chevrolet. Now set to take on Preston HURD out of Frackville, Pennsylvania. Sudden impact staged over there in the far lane. Who goes on to round 3 action at Revenge? We're about to find out next. Ford versus Chevrolet as we go green. Both trucks make a good start off the line there, hanging even up and over no man's land. And the far lane curse strikes again. Sudden impact on the tailgate with a huge wheel stand. Nonetheless, Buckshot moves on to round 3. And next up, as we close out round 2 action, Rich Wagner and the Wild Hair Chevrolet from No Fear Racing set to take on Jeffrey Skipper, the Snowman, out of Johnson Motorsports Race Team, U.S. Air Force Afterburner. This one, ladies and gentlemen, is for bragging rights. Who goes on to round 3 action? Well, folks, we're about to find out as we go green. And like a rocket ship down a bowling alley, both trucks are hanging even up and over no man's land here. And Rich Wagner and the Wild Hair Chevrolet knock off U.S. Air Force Afterburner here early in round 2 action. We'll see Rich Wagner back in round 3. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to let you know, coming up at the end of February, February 26th to be exact, 32 of MTA's baddest monster trucks do it again for the Live Wire Championship. Again, that's February 26th, Saturday night at 7 p.m. right here on the MTA YouTube channel for Live Wire. As we come back to MTA Revenge, we are into round 3 action now. And coming up first, out of Conroe, Texas, Mike Lanford and the Bustin' Loose Chevrolet, now set to take on another Bowtie representative, JAYLEN Buford, USA 1, out of the Outlaw Motorsports Race Team. Both trucks have been doing phenomenal all night long. Both of them staged here early in round 3 action. Who goes on to the semis? Here's the green light. They're hanging even down the stretch. Slight lead to USA 1. Bustin' Loose coming back. And USA 1's rolled it over. JAYLEN Buford lost control of the truck in no man's land. Turned the truck over. Bustin' Loose gets the win. Next up here in round 3, Matt Cheever, it's your boy from Poplar Branch, North Carolina, and Gravedigger the Legend, now set to take on Chris BILUK and BKT out of the Bad Weather Race Camp. He has been running strong all night long, but so is Shaggy Matt Cheever in the Legend in the near lane. Here's the green light now, both of them hard off the line, hanging even down the straight, up and over. Shaggy turns it over, and BKT gets the win. A bad bounce for Mr. Shaggy there in no man's land. Rocked up and rolled over. Chris BILUK getting the win. And now we are trackside with the MTA track crew and officials as they roll over Gravedigger the Legend. There you see a little bit of fiberglass hanging out there on the track. And hey, who knows, maybe we could pick it up off the track, cut it up into a bunch of little pieces, and overprice the heck out of it on one of these monster truck pages. Did I just say that out loud? Anyway, back to the action at hand at Revenge. Matt Cheever is A-OK. Gravedigger's a little tore up. We'll hope to see him back in the near future. Next up, Wildman Ryan Johnson and Bulldozer, now set to take on the girl who has been on a rail here tonight. RAILYN, Mullins, and Medusa has been rocking the house. Not just here tonight, but on Thunder this past season. She has got Medusa looking stronger than ever. She is set and ready to go against Bulldozer. Here's the green light now. She jumped Bulldozer off the line. Ryan Johnson trying to come back, and what a crash by Ryan Johnson. Oh my word, what a wreck there. Hopefully he's all right. Medusa taking it all the way down to the pit area. And Ryan Johnson and Bulldozer has crashed, leaving an incredible path of destruction behind him as you see him here in the replay trying to chase down Medusa. The rear end of the truck kicked up off that first jump, making him go end over end. He tried to get control of it, and it just couldn't happen. Now the MTA track crew and officials are down there, gonna roll over the old Bulldozer there. And what an incredible amount of damage done to Wildman Ryan Johnson's Bulldozer as the body comes off the chassis. Got a tire broken off. A lot of work to be done for the Johnson Motorsports Race Team, more specifically the Bulldozer machine. What an incredible crash out here. Medusa moves on to semis, and ladies and gentlemen, up next, Rich Wagner in the Wild Hair Chevrolet, now set to take on another bad bow tie of the MTA circuit, Jerry Womack Jr. in the Buckshot Chevrolet out of Culpeper, Virginia. Which bow tie moves on to semifinal action? We're about to find out as both trucks are staged and prepared to go green. There's the green light now. Both of them seem strong off the line. Even down the stretch, the body comes off a Buckshot. And another incredible wheel stand for Rich Wagner in the Wild Hair Chevrolet. Making another upset here in round 3. Puts the Wild Hair in semifinal action. And ladies and gentlemen, we kick off semifinals right here, right now. We started with 32. We are now down to 4. It's going to be Bustin' Loose taking on BKT to kick off semis. Mike Lanford in the Bustin' Loose Chevrolet out of Conroe, Texas, has been looking phenomenally strong all night here. He is set and ready to go in the near lane and ready to take on Chris BILUK and BKT, who's been strong as well. There's the green light, both of them hard off the line. Slight lead to Bustin' Loose, turns the truck over, sticks it on the nose for Mike Lanford, and Bustin' Loose. Getting the win is Chris BILUK and BKT. What a ride there for Bustin' Loose. However, Chris BILUK gets the win. And next up here in semis, RAILYN Mullins, who just knocked out the one and only Wildman and Bulldozer, now set to take on 10-time Thursday Night Thunder champion Rich Wagner out of No Fear Racing, formerly Wells Motorsports. He is set and ready to go in the Wild Hair Chevrolet. Medusa's been running strong. This could be anybody's ball game as the light goes green. Even down the straight stretch, who wants it more up and over the cars? And what an incredible race it was. I'm not even sure who got the win from up here in the booth. They looked so even coming across the finish line. This one is going to be a judge for the MTA officials. Taking a look here, it's going to be Rich Wagner and Wild Hair by merely inches. Gets the win over Medusa, and shout out to RAILYN Mullins for an incredible pass there in the Medusa Ford. But it's what we all come to see, folks. It is now final time at Revenge. 32 trucks have been whittled down to 2. 10-time Thunder champion Rich Wagner and Wild Hair set to take on the man who's moving on from his own team, the Bad Weather Race Team, Chris BILUK and BKT. Both trucks are staged at the line. There can only be one Revenge champion. Wild Hair takes on BKT. Here's the green light now, even down the straight stretch. Who's going to take it home here tonight? Wagner puts it on 2 wheels and BILUK turns it over. Nonetheless, he gets the win over the Wild Hair as he did not quite cross the finish line in that far lane. What an incredible race here as we take another look. Both trucks seem pretty even coming off the line, hanging door handle to door handle as they hit the first jump here, flying high over no man's land. Watch the far lane, Rich Wagner getting way out of shape, saved the truck, and then Chris BILUK turned his truck over, going across the finish line. You can't say both those drivers weren't going for it here tonight at Revenge. But ladies and gentlemen, out of 32 trucks, the man on top is none other than Chris BILUK. You are the Revenge champion. Congratulations to the Bad Weather Race Camp and Chris BILUK and BKT for taking home tonight's championship. And ladies and gentlemen, what an incredible night of Diecast Monster Truck Racing. I want to personally thank each and every one of you for coming out tonight and watching tonight's show. Thank you all for your continued support for Monster Truck Attitude on our YouTube channel. I thank you guys each and every day, and I will never ever forget where I came from. We started this channel from nothing, and it's grown so much, and I have you guys to thank for that. Your comments, your continued support, I appreciate it all very, very much, and I thank you guys for everything you've ever done for Monster Truck Attitude. And ladies and gentlemen, as always, if you haven't already, crush that subscribe button, and I'll catch you down the road. See you next time!